Hi, I have some practice spots for you to learn the left hand of a short story. So we want to practice measure 3 by itself, measures 12 and 13, measure 15, and measures 22 through 23. So those measures, go ahead and mark them with like a box around the left hand part or a circle, or just write down the measure numbers or something, so that you know each day you should just practice those independently, little practice chunks, little practice spots. Okay, so the first one is measure 3, the left hand. That's what it will sound like eventually, but this jump in the Alberti pattern is something that you've never done before. So here we are in our nice C major pattern, and then we have to reach all the way down to F, but then it's not going to feel like a very natural jump, because you're jumping from this chord, which has a 5th on the outside, to this chord, which has a 6th on the outside. So not only are you jumping down, but you're also spreading your thumb a little bit wider. So I would practice that blocked. This and this. Until you get the positioning of your fingers for each of those chords. Can you do it without looking? Okay, once you know exactly where you're going to, then you can try splitting up the notes and then doing it with a practice pause in between. Maybe mixing those together, like block the chord and then separate it. Now jump, block the chord, and then separating it. Just some ideas for you, but you want to be able to smoothly go from one to the other, and that's going to take daily practice for several weeks. So that's measure 3. Now, you also want to practice measures 12 and 13. The main thing you need to practice with this is going from the C all the way down 2.5 octaves to this G down here. So high C to this low G, from here to here. Practice going quick and finding it, getting exactly there. I like to think of myself like I'm jumping off of a springboard or diving off of a diving board, something like that. So here's my diving board, and I'm diving into a very specific spot. So I'm diving from the C all the way down to the G. So you can practice diving from one to the other. Jump and dive, springboard. For me, it's easier, maybe kind of like a basketball is easier to throw with a curve to hit the backboard and make a basket. For me, it's easier to aim if I have a little bit of a curve in my movement. So going up and then over and down, kind of like a rainbow shape with the hands. So I'm like going up and over like that. Some people might not do that, and you might keep your hand as close to the keys as you can, so you can kind of maybe measure, maybe even slide your thumb along the keys so you can really feel the distance. This is up to you. What do you think is easier to make that jump? Do you think it's easier if you kind of keep your hands on the keys? Or is it easier if you aim with a curve? And you're like a windshield wiper going back and forth. Up to you. Okay, so that's this part. So you'll have to practice going from this high C all the way down to this low G. And then after that, you want to do measure 15. Measure 15 has this little turn. And that one, I think it's just a matter of repeating it a lot. So just do it over and over again. 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get that in your fingers. Get used to it. And then the final spot that you definitely need to make a practice spot is measures 22 and 23, and that's the chord section. arms with a little bit of a pause. Wait, measure it out, like open up your fingers to be as wide as the intervals you're reaching for, and then play. Lift up your hand. This is the same exact shape, same intervals. You've got a third with a sixth. And so now you're switching to a seventh with a third on top. Ooh, and then closing into this third. So practice those without any time, without counting, just going from one to the next as slowly as you need to until you know how to get from one to the other. Okay? So practicing it staccato sometimes helps, just to give it a little bit of a bounce, and you can bounce from one to the next. Practicing it forte will help. So that you're strong, so you're really secure and solid. Practicing it piano will also help, because then you're kind of being more gentle and more careful. You'll find the beauty in it. You can practice listening for voices, like, making the top note a little bit louder in this one. Do you want the bottom note louder, the top note louder? So just listen to how you want to balance the chord. Okay, next one. I like the top note louder. I really like to hear this. That little melody in the top of the chord. So I'm going to bring out the top note of my chords. So you can practice a little bit of balance, a little bit of weight leaning into that top note. And those are all things that will help make this easier and better and more musical. Okay, so those are your practice spots for a short story left hand. Thanks for joining me for piano lessons today. We'll see you next time.